glad you're here with me today. I am working on a page for a challenge from Shell's Facebook group. And the other day when we were live doing our Art Joy is Sharing channel on YouTube, I had started talking about inks and creating backgrounds and things. So I started off doing this background with Distress Sprays. Um, if you want to see any more about ink and that sort of thing, go over and check out our Art Joy Sharing group and the Facebook group and the uh, channel on YouTube, because that's where we're sharing more information. So here's the background, and then I'll show
So
you what I'm
while we
going to
had
do
been
with the
doing the
moon.
live, we'd been playing around with different inks. And one of the new pads that I picked up is this StazOn Opaque Cotton White. And I want to create some stars in the background. So I think I'm just going to take this stamp, which mimics stars in the sky. And I'm hoping that this is still wet enough. Let's ink it up and see what we get. Yeah, it's applying to this okay. So I want to get some of those stars, and this is going to react with that ink that's on my page, and I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute, because these Distress Oxides keep on moving, you know, when you wet them. So this is just giving some of that texture to the background, and I think actually I want to ink this again and make it a little bit juicier. So just going to take my ink and my applicator and apply that. This was a brand new pad when I used it the other day, and it takes a while for the saturation here. So just gonna clean that off, and I'm gonna ink this up because I really want that bright coloration there. Let's see if we can get some of the stars in the sky here. And I may actually have to come back with some gesso to brighten that up a bit. But also, along with the stars in the sky, because this is the pink moon, and when you listen to, or I've been out reading, I was reading about the folklore about the pink moon, and it was supposed to be the reflection of the spring flowers that were blooming, the phlox and that sort of thing, that was casting a light up on the moon. So I'm going to take some of this floral design on a stamp. This is a magenta stamp, and this white ink, because I want it to cast onto my moon from below here. So I'm going to add this onto my page. See if I can get good contact with that. And I'm going to want to do a little bit more. So I'm going to open up my page. And apply some more of that white ink. I'm going to get a good saturation here. And get the flowers onto my background to cast that shadow on the moon. And it's just kind of in the background, so I think in addition to this ink, this is a StazOn opaque white, I am going to hit this with a little bit of gesso. So I've got my DecoArt Media gesso here in a jar, and I'm just going to put some of that onto my, I want a sponge brayer to do this with, okay? So I'll take a little bit of that out here on my glass because it cleans up easily. Get my rag, my paint rag, and just going to roll my brayer in that and get this covered with that gesso. See if we can't get a good coverage here. And I should put some sponge underneath just to give it a little cushion. I'm going to actually stand up and apply some pressure. Make sure I get good contact with my page. Okay, and you can see that that's a little bit brighter. And you want to make sure that you clean off the rubber right away so that it doesn't soak in. I'm also going to put that brayer in some water and let that soak. Okay, so I'll let that sit to the side. I'll clean it up better later. Just put it on my wet towel, and that should clean up nicely. Now, the other thing that I had here was this piece of Yupo that I'd been playing around with. And I had been making some painty papers. This is just some what was I working on? I was working on some tissue paper. So I ran it through the Xyron because I wanted to adhere it to this piece of Yupo. So I'm going to peel that back from the release paper, just like so. You can see now that it's clear. And I'm going to slip that piece of Yupo down here inside the release paper so that I can apply this over the Yupo that's got the little pinkish tinge to it. I want to get that down like so. Because the next thing I want to do is cut out my moon shape from this. And I have a die, which is 3 3/4 inches, and I think that's about the right size for this page for the moon. I want to see just where I want to cut it, so I'm going to die cut this, and then I will be back. So now I just want to deepen the edges of my image here. So I've got this Cobalt Archival. Let's see if I can get enough of this on here. I just want to brush a little bit of that in. Deepen the edges. make it a little more like a night sky, right? Even down in these areas, I want to darken it a bit. Just to bring you visually into the center of my piece. I think I might even try adding, this is cactus flower, which is very vibrant, pinkish tone. Let's see if I can get some of this incorporated in here. See just how vibrant that is. Yes, it is very vibrant. But it is all about the pink moon, right? So we're adding the pinks in here. Those white flowers are picking up some of that cactus flower. In the background here, as are the stars, reflecting out that pink. Okay, I like that. And then let's just go back to that cobalt once again. And then I also think I want to add some gray, just to tone that bright color down a little bit. So let me get, let's see, that's the blue. Let me get the watering can. See what this does. Clean some of that blue out of my brush. Pick up some of that. Yeah. I'll gray down that blue a little bit. Like this for a little more intensity right along the edge. Okay, I like that better. You guys see the difference? See what's going on here? Alright, so now we've got that. I've got my moon. And I think before I place this, I just want to take a pencil and mark where it's going to go on the page, because I want to put a shadow in behind the moon also. So I'm gonna, oops, didn't mean to do that. So now you can see where the moon is going to be placed. I'm going to grab let's see, do I have my graphite? Let's see, where did I put that? I'll put it in here. Yep, there it is. So I've got my nice stubby pencil here, and I'm just gonna put a shadow in around my moon and blend that out. Blend that graphite out with my finger here. A little more on the underside than on the top side here. Might actually take some of that over here into the sky too. Let's see what that does. Oh yeah, that helps with that edge. Just gonna take that and go right around the edge of the moon too, because that white right there needs to be covered. So we've got that going. This can go in place, and then the last thing I want to do is add a quote.